this video we're going to look at how you can use the review or quiz element in your iBooks. You can't use this to do complicated quizzes on the front of, sending you results, that kind of thing, but they can be very useful for a review at the end of a chapter, for a student to check how they did. You can come and ask them to show you the results once they've done them, if that's acceptable way of assessing them or informally assessing them. So they can be quite useful, and there's a number of really cool options. So I'm just going to click on the widget button again at the top and go down to review, and you'll see here that I get my little review or quiz box here. I'm going to stretch it out. Again, it's got that funny background just because of the type of book template that I've chosen, but again, if I go to my inspector panel and click on layout, I can turn off things like that. You can see a bunch of other stuff that I've already put on this page. What can you remember? Listen again to the opening few bars of Ropaloon, and they can tap that to have a listen. We're going to look at this in iBooks Author in a second. And then maybe some questions based on this score and the bit of recording. So the first question that it's come up with is a multiple choice question. So, we could have something like, what language is Ropaloon written in? And we could have Chinese. Actually, let's be a little bit more correct. Mandarin. We could have gosh, isn't it funny, I can't suddenly think of a language. English is apparently a language that I speak. So is French, although about as good as my English right now. And finally, answer 4 is going to be nonsense. No language. And that is actually the correct answer. I made up the language. So I put the tick in that box, and that tells the iBook that will be the right answer. Once they've tapped what they think it is, they can click check answer, and it'll tell them whether they got it right or not. So obviously only one question wouldn't be particularly useful, so I'm going to click on my inspector again. I've already got widgets chosen, and I'm just going to change this tab here to interaction, and you'll see now that there's a space for a list of questions. I can actually choose how many answers I want to have in them. So if I want to have a 5th one, because I don't want it just to be the last one, Martian, then I can do that. I can also add different kinds of questions. So when I click on this little plus button here next to download, that would be the same again, but these next two are really useful for musical excerpts. So for instance, if I go into a multiple choice here, and my question could be something about what's this instrument, and I could have guitar, I could have horn, I could have violin, and I could have drum, and then drag a picture in. I'll use my faithful guitar picture again. Again, it needs a little bit of cropping and whatever, but we'll just assume that that's perfect right now. And similarly, the other way, multiple choice, this might be especially useful for a bit of score. Let's just drag a different bit of score in here. I'm just going to drag some a drum image from a drum line in there, and that could be it could be something like what is this notation, or why is this note head crossed, and choose the correct answer. Okay, let's add another question in here now. Again, just clicking on the little plus button. I'd really love these multiple choices, because what this is allowing you to do is to drop 4 different images in, or you can have down as low as 2 and up to 6 different images. And you could say something like which image includes an example of grace notes. And then I've just already made here from this score, I've got a few different examples of images. You do need to spend, oops, that's not what I meant to do. You do need to spend a bit of time just making sure that they're sized nicely. Oops. And lastly, Obviously that's not sized nicely because I can't see this, so I'm just going to, there we go, it's a bit better, isn't it? Anyway, you get the idea. You can resize the images using a program such as Preview so that they're the right aspect ratio, and of course this can go full screen as well, so you can have much bigger buttons if you want. Last but not least, we've got two more options here. You'll see they're both called drag label to target, and the drag label to target buttons, sorry, in this case thumbnail and in this case label, they allow you to get students to identify things in pictures. So again, maybe I'll just grab the electric guitar picture and I'll say put this on the neck of the guitar and we'll label it neck, and identify bits of a guitar. Bits being a technical term. This is a whammy bar. Just drag that onto the whammy bar, and obviously again I can have more labels. Let's have a third one, otherwise it's a little bit easy to get it. Let's have one that's just called body, and put that there, so on and so forth. So you can see again you can add up to 6 different labels that they've got to put in. You could spend a bit of time making that look more beautiful, but what I'm interested to do now is for the first time to show you the preview feature. So I've actually already connected my iPad, and I've got the iPad showing onto my computer screen, back onto my computer screen to give you the best picture possible. So I'm going to click preview. When you click preview, it will remind you normally to make sure that you have iBooks running on your iPad, which I already do. Oops, let's just get that back. So now I'm looking at iBooks in my iPad, and you'll see that it's going to receive the iBook from iBooks author. There it is, just arriving. I've got it connected via the USB cable, and it's even opened up on that particular page. So just so that you know, I'm not running this with my mouse now, I'm running this from a real live iPad. So if I switch and go back to my earlier page, let's just play that score example that we had earlier, and you can see that I can actually change the playback and sweep through my pages. So that's what we learned to do in the last video, which was about score reading using the gallery plugin. And now onto the page that I've just created. So again, I can just tap on that playback button and we can start playing the track, and let's go and answer these particular questions over here. So I'll just tap nonsense, no language. I can check my answer and see if I got it right. Yes, got that one right. And I'll just go through now, not really worried about exactly what it is. Whatever, I can't remember what the what I chose as the answers of some of these. So that was my example of triplets. Again, click the next one, and then let's drag the whammy bar to the whammy bar, the neck to the neck, and the body to the body. And finally it says 1 out of 5 answers correct. So that's the screen that you could ask students to come and actually show you in their when they finish doing that. Although of course there is nothing to stop them just going back and with multi-choice getting any old you know, just trying everything until it works. The other thing that I should mention just before finishing this video is that there is another option to do quizzes, which we're going to look at in video 6, which is using a plugin from a website called bookery.com. So we'll look at that in video 6 if you want to have more extensive options for creating assessment tasks within your iBooks. But built in, you can see this is very easy to use and quite elegant.
So go